Beautiful images of Rotorua, the Bay of Plenty's Adventureland, as the junior Kiwis come out onto Rotorua International Stadium for this second and last test between these two junior international sides. The junior Kangaroos, very good last week in Wellington with that 24-16 win against the junior Kiwis. They were relaxed this morning, done by Lake Rotorua with a game of friendly cricket, and why wouldn't it? Their national game, and they certainly had some high performers like James Cunning there from Manly, who was very present in that first 20 minutes. This is their formation as it lines up. Gagai, Massey and Oldfield on the wings, Jones and O'Neill in the centres, Norman and Williams in the halves, Beale, Jackson, Nichols, Sims comes into the starting lineup, and Cunningham and also King in the front row. On the bench, it's Walsh, Appleton at right, and O'Donnell there, coached by David Hamilton. Very aware that that extra week that they have could see them try and whitewash them. Ben Jones saying they would like to whitewash the Kiwis. And the Kiwis, of course, led by Martin Topo, the newest father in the land. And here quickly is the junior Kiwis outfit. Fisiahi, Morgan, Tupou, Low, and Licky Low comes in for Dean Whare, ankle trouble, Tumava, Ben Johnson, Eke Tasi Mata Ora, Topo, Owane, and McElroy. That's the starting lineup on the bench. It will be Seloini, Luisi, Maliota, and Pakiafo gets a start off the bench from the Bulldogs as we set ourselves for the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we can please be upstanding for the national anthems of Australia and New Zealand. Firstly, the Australian anthem will be performed by Te Waikimihi Ormsby.
The Australian national anthem will be performed by Te Waikimihi Ormsby.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth foretold. Our home is girt by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair. Beneath our radiant Southern Cross, we'll toil with hearts and hands to make this commonwealth of ours renowned of all the lands. For those who've come across the seas with boundless plains to share, with courage let us all combine to advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
A beautiful rendition of the Australian national anthem by Te Waikimihi Ormsby in a cappella. Beautiful. And now the New Zealand national anthem from TK Webster.
E hoa tua o na iwi mataura a ta whakarona me aroha noa ki a hua ko te pai ki a tauto a ta whai mana ki ti a mai au te aroa, God of nations at thy feet. In the bonds of love we meet. Hear our voices, we free land. God Pacific triple stars from the shafts of strife and war. Make her praises heard afar. God defend New Zealand.
TK Webster with the New Zealand national anthem on a pristine Bay of Plenty day. It is in the feel of summer is here. You can smell the mown grass, and the Bay of Plenty has put on a wonderful day here at the Rotorua International Stadium. Stephen McIver, Owen Goodbill, Daryl Halligan sideline for this Junior Kiwis International as we prepare ourselves for the haka, which the Junior Roos this time are going to face up to. Some a little intimidated last week in Wellington, but as Tarek Sim said, I had my mates side by side, that'll do me. Here's the haka. Well, if that doesn't get the blood boiling, nothing will. Some of the junior kangaroos smiling, saying, yeah, bring it on. Remember, we've got the first one. We can whitewash you today here at Rotorua's International Stadium. 24-16 a week ago. And they're a very relaxed outfit. Watched them training earlier in the week. And Owen, they are a very, very confident bunch, these young men in green and gold.
Well, they know what they need to do. They just go through the game plan. They stick to the structure, and they'll be trying to fatigue this big JK side early on in the match and try and come over the top of them in the backhand of each half. But it's going to be very exciting. If the haka is anything to go by, this is going to be a great game.
Gosh, I love the haka. Shane Rem is the man in the middle. He officiated in the England-Australia clash last week in Parramatta, of which Australia won, and they will face England tomorrow night live on Sky Sport after 40-20. But it is a magical day in Rotorua. They've turned on a stunner, and Sean Johnson will get this junior international underway. It's the junior Kiwis against the junior Kangaroos. A strong wind running right to left as you see it on the screen, and the junior Kangaroos will have first use of the ball. The groundsman has done a sterling job with this deck. It is like a bowling green. And Tarek Sims, who came off the bench last week, certainly impressed his coach David Hamilton with about 20 runs in about 20 seconds. That's how good he was. And this young man here, James Cunningham, as we saw in Wellington last week, Owen, was busy for that first 20 and certainly made an impact.
Well, he puts his hand up. He'll have a couple of runs early on in the game in each set, just trying to find his way into the game and stamp his authority.
It's the ball. It's now to Sam Williams, the Canberra halfback, and he's put that one out on the full. So an early mistake, an early chance for the Kiwis to capitalise on the Australian mistake. Early nerves, though, and it's funny that because he's actually got the wind with him.
Well, maybe just try to get a little bit too much with the kick. Some good kick pressure by the Kiwis. A nice set defensively from the JKs early on. Here we see it, the kick just skewing off the side of the boot, out on the full. The junior Kiwis get a scrum within the 40.
It's a good place to start a scrum too. It's about 38 out from the Kangaroo line. We'll check on DJ in just a minute. Sean Johnson, he will find Licky, the first try scorer last week. He was targeted by David Hamilton this week as the man to shut down. He had two men on him. And this is Billy Tupou. Quiet last week. The Warriors winger wants to be a little busier here in Rotorua. And then they find Lamatasi. Sasi gets the Kiwis to 20 metres out from the Kangaroo line. McElrick, cut out ball, finds Johnson, puts that step on, but well wrapped up. Tarek Sims all over him. You won't get away from him. Along with Gerard Beale from the Brisbane Broncos, planted on the 20-metre line. The skipper, Martin Topo, new father. Want to put a big one in for his new young daughter. And a good carry too. Gets New Zealand to 10 out from the Kangaroos line, but it is on the 5th. Tuamavavi, good shot too. Look at that. Justin O'Neill comes straight up of his line, jams the Kiwis, and Drury Lowe has nowhere to go.
Well, great defensive read there from the Kangaroos. The Kiwis that time, you can see that they're trying to back themselves running on the last tackle. But this Australian outfit, they're up to the challenge.
Kangaroos with ball no. This is the last moment here. Fired it out from Tuamavavi. What a great hit by Justin O'Neill, who scored a try last week and was denied about 2 on the back of some strong Kiwi defence. Tarek Sims plays the ball 20 out from their own line, and they'll just move it forward as they do. Efficiency, clinically. You can hear the call, keep your eye on Gagai. Dane Gagai, double try scorer last week, but he was a target of the Kiwis in their practice this week. Cunningham straight and hard on 4. Tackle 5, they're inside their own half. They look for Corey Norman in the yellow boots. He kicks it low. The bounce should bump up nicely. Yes, it does. For Kane Morgan out of South Sydney. His first start, and he is just monstered by Cameron King and Tarek Sims. Quick play of the ball. The fish, Glenn Fissia, he comes out. Quick little carry, gets 5. 30 out from the New Zealand line. Tuamavavi in at acting half. Drury Lowe. No sign of the forwards yet. Is that a worrying sign this early in the piece there, Harwin?
Well, it's very hot out there. They're putting a lot of effort in a defence. Here we go. We see a first carry there from Markawane.
Markawane off to Canberra next season after a successful premiership winning year with the Warriors. Sam Mataora, that'll be his teammate next year, depending on when both of them make first grade or otherwise. 5 and last, bang on halfway. Johnson just tries to chip one over. It comes up with Australia. The chase is pretty good. Goes straight into the hands of Nathan Massey, who's getting his first out, and here's monstered by Mataora, who gives away the penalty for a high shot. Well, you did suggest in the build-up there might be a little bit of argy, so there's the first bit of argy.
Well, plenty of love in that tackle. A little bit high. I don't think there was too much malice intended.
Corey Norman kicks for touch. It's just inside the New Zealand half. Here's the tackle here. Well, it just comes up off the shoulders. So Shane Rem has made it quite clear he won't take any of that. As the Kangaroos charge up the field through Mark Nichols. Nichols will play the ball 35 out from the New Zealand line. He hands it off to Cunningham, again busy in this first half as he was last week in Wellington. Good carry, 25 out. Increments of 10 at the moment. Norman, short ball for Sims. Sims backs in, keeps on going. North Queens will be happy with the bye they have got in Tarek Sims, along with his brother Ashton for 2011. Tackle 3, Williams. And they've pushed him out, so poor end of the set. Let's go sideline. DJ, beautiful day for football. So, not the best end of that set to Michael Oldfield. They just ran out of room, so a good defensive set by New Zealand.
Yeah, it was. They spoke about their line speed coming into this game. It looked as if the Australians were getting too many metres, very easy metres there, but escorted them out to the sideline, pushed them over the touch.
So New Zealand scrum bang on their 10-metre line. Licky, the target, almost slips through the tackle of 2 players, doesn't do so. Good carry, though. Little scurry out of dummy half from Kane Morgan. He's still busy, Kane Morgan. They can't stop him. They finally do through Gerard Beale. Here's the skipper, Martin Topo, slammed on his back. Good tackle from Cunningham. Ikuhifo now. A little quiet last week, but he builds into a game and is very busy. Ikuhifo plays the ball, 10 out from halfway. Johnson, he finds Tassi. Tassi still going, looking to get the ball away, not able to do with a good tackle from Ben Jones, the Australian skipper. Bang on halfway. McElrick finds Johnson. Johnson for Tuamavavi, under kick pressure, gets one away and goes straight down the throat of Nathan Massey, and that's not the sort of kick that his coach David Kidwell would be looking for.
You want to find the space, whether it's over the head or in between the players, just to give your defensive line a little bit more time to come forward and restrict the yards of this Kangaroo side, as we see the Kiwis once again giving away a penalty for a high shot.
Oh, Mataora again. That's the second time he's been pinged, and, well, there's a little bit of feeling in this one. We do know for a fact that the Kangaroos would like to whitewash the Kiwis, but So Shane Rem has given the skipper Martin Topo the reason why, and there's Mata order there. Well, let's leave that one alone. That's the decision that's been made. And Sam Mataura is just going to have to watch his game because Shane Rem's all over him. Cameron King. He will find his teammate and Mark Nichols. Nichols will play the ball 29 out from the New Zealand line. Here's Cunningham again with a barging run. Cunningham just backs himself over the 20-metre line. 18 out from New Zealand's line. King, little dummy. He's got runners everywhere. Oh, cut out ball. Look out. Here they come now. Jones, the skipper. He will find Oldfield. Oldfield's going to back himself, will he? Oldfield still. He might have scored the first try. We might go upstairs and video referee Russell Smith will make his decision. But he gets that try. The Kiwis defence has got to take a good look at itself.
Well, it was a nice passage of play there from the Australians. Running decoy players coming out the back. Looking as if they come out wide for the try. Just looking for the ruling whether he actually got the ball down. I think that'll be the only thing. Here we see.
Glenn Fisiahi caught out, and well, there's no. Well, is there a double movement in there? Elbow down, up, or was he bang on the line? You'd have to suggest. Did he? Well, okay. Let's go down the path. Did he lose the ball?
Well, it's hard to make a call in slow motion. There's the knee to the elbow. I think you'd have to give that. Benefit favours the attacking side.
The video referee wants us to see if the ball comes loose. His hand comes off the ball, so he does have control, but you'd have to suggest on first look it is a try. One more look for Russell Smith. Mind you, referee Russell Smith does have a reputation of wanting to see every angle. Okay.
I don't know how long the build-up is to the main game, but they'll have to start making calls a bit quicker if they want it to be kicked off on time.
Here we go. What does Russell Smith think of that one? Has Michael Oldfield scored the first try of this test? Ref's call couldn't make a decision, and Shane Rem says the junior Kangaroos on the board, courtesy of Michael Oldfield, who scored a try last week. So it's 4-0, kick to come.
Well, all on the back of ill-discipline, giving away a penalty. Then they come out of dummy half, and it's here. The ability to step in. The dummy runner comes around the back, and some great hands there by the captain. And pretty poor defence, you'd have to say, from the Kiwis.
Here they come. A good little step here. Just looked too easy. And the Kiwis were at 6s and 7s. Billy Tupou caught out, and Michael Oldfield backed himself. Tackler's coming from everywhere, but Tackler's not in the right position. And Michael Oldfield scores the first try of today. Adds one from last week. The Kangaroos lead 4-0, and the kick to come now from Cameron King. He's parked well on the commentary side of Rotorua International Stadium. He's about 23 out, but he's got the wind with him. So let's see how he goes. Crowd beginning to build for the major international between New Zealand and Papua New Guinea in the Four Nations. Cameron King settles himself into his routine. Strikes it well, but he's basically sliced that one, so the extras are not added. It's 4-0. Australia lead New Zealand.
So some lovely work here if you watch from Sammy Williams, the halfback. He's got number 7 on. Just his ability to hold the ball up made New Zealand come up in a staggered line, and Oldfield on the wing. He does so well. He played some rugby union at Scots College, this kid, before playing for the 20s at Manly, and he's taken every stepping stone. Won first grade game this year as well.
Thank you, DJ. Talk about those conditions in just a moment as Tarek Sims comes barging into the defensive line, is thumped on his back by Lamatasi, who gives away yet another penalty. That's 3 penalties in a row the Kiwis have given away. Let's have a listen.
Stayed on him, right? That's what the penalty's going for. Hey, it's his responsibility to get off the tackle player. That's it, man.
Shane Rem calls it like he sees it.
Well, that makes your afternoon very difficult when you're concentrating on your line speed, so you're getting up. It's going to use a bit more energy. And then when you're giving away cheap yards, like the Kiwis are, certainly going to hurt them.
Here comes Gerard Beale with the first hit-up of this extra set now that they've been gifted from Lamatasi. They're inside the New Zealand half. Williams, he finds Tarek Sims. Tarek Sims, as you would expect, extremely busy, already knocking 50 metres in his, so far in his carries. King waiting for him. And there's Cunningham almost beats the tackle of Ika Hihifo, and his leg drive just pushes him through 3 New Zealanders. 31 out from New Zealand's line. The ball's gone to deck, what's called, and a strip has been called. Martin Topo is getting frustrated. Let's have a listen.
Explain, mate. Your hands are in there and you stripped it out.
Yeah, but the hands coming in, it's in the, sorting out the balls, but my hands coming out.
It's
just a loose ball.
Man, it's the same as up there for. It's your responsibility to get off the tackle player and keep your hands out away from the ball.
Well, here it is. Here's the incident. 2 men in the tackle. Yeah. Well, I don't think he's got anything to argue with there.
That is poor poker, Martin. You've got to learn how to play poker better than that. The Kangaroos on a charge now, looking to extend their lead. They lead 4-0 after 11 and a bit minutes. Williams, he finds Josh Jackson. Jackson still going. Jackson just cut through them, and the Kangaroos are in again.
The right side in defence for the junior Kiwis is where this Australian side is targeting. Johnson and Licky haven't been the best defending for the junior Warriors this year. Sides look to expose them in defence, and here we have it again. Nice early ball out to the left. A great line there. Run from Jackson. Straight past Johnson. Just too easy.
Far too easy, and the right-hand side defence was up very quickly. Licky had called right up, so if even passed the ball, they were caught short. But Josh Jackson, who was impressive, particularly in the second half last week for the junior Kangaroos, just too easy. And they lead 8-0, kick to come.
Again, discipline is really lacking from this Kiwi side. They just haven't had their hands on the football for a fair while, and the Australian boys are having their way at the moment.
So Cameron King in an almost identical spot to his first conversion attempt. He's in about 5 metres from the commentary touchline with the wind behind him. The last one he basically sliced to the right, so he'll have thought about that and want to try and correct that. Beautiful day, Orotrua. Blue skies, sunshine. I feel a song coming on. Strikes it sweetly, corrected perfectly. Cameron King, the extra 2 points threaded. 10-0. Australia lead New Zealand in this junior international.
So again, they go to this right-hand side, which is causing so many problems. And Sammy Williams, yes, he was the one who directed the traffic right at Sean Johnson. I won't talk too much more about that. It was so disappointing. But I've just had a call from the Met Service, and this beautiful day is going to continue. We've got a northeasterly blowing from 2 to 5 knots, would you believe, and it's going to continue. So a beautiful afternoon on the offering.
Sean Johnson restarts. The Kangaroos let it bounce, and it's a wobbly old one, and the chase team is pretty strong on this. And James Cunningham with again another strong carry and gets them 15 out from their own line. Quick play the ball. They find Gerard Beale now positioning himself on that right-hand side. Norman back inside for Tarek Sims. Sims is dealt to by Ika Hihifo.
Well, the real difference has been the fact that Australia have had all the ball. Their forwards are dominating. Well, not so much that time, but we've got 2 forwards from the Australian side already running over 50 metres. The JKs, well, we don't have anyone over 20 yet, so we're going to make things tough if they keep giving away penalties.
Well, when you're working at 70-30 possession against you, you've got to do something right. They'll probably have to tidy up their game, and David Kidwell, who is a real taskmaster and a real disciplinarian, will not be happy with the way they are performing at the moment, and the word will get out there to settle down and get back to your game, because you're falling into the trap and you're rushing up too quickly. Look at that metres count. Here's Topo leading from the front now. Martin Topo with a good strong carry. That's what Coach Kidwell wants to see. 15 out from halfway. The Kiwis need to get on the board. Kane Morgan. Tidy little carry. 8 out from the halfway. This is Mark Owane. He's been quiet. Mind you, the New Zealand team have had plenty of defending to do. Gets them inside the Kangaroo half. McElrick looks for Ika Hihifo. He backs in. Tidy little carry. inching their way forward. They're on tackle 4, the junior Kiwis. There's McElrick. Nice little dart out of dummy half. Monstered, though, by Sims. Gets up quickly. On 5, Tuamavavi. Just kicks one in and taken beautifully out of the air. Dane Gagai. Gagai still going.
Well, that looked like a pressure kick there. Nothing on. A great take by this man. And his second hit up of the set makes another 15 for his side.
And they're certainly wanting to pick the pace up. This is Tarek Sims. 3 offloads to the Australians. Here's the kick from Tuamavavi. Goes straight into the hands of Gagai. He's got beautiful balance, this boy from Brisbane. DJ, you're down, right down there. What is going on with the Kiwis?
Oh, look, the kicking game, that kick in particular from Carlos after a good set of 6. Remember, they worked that off their own 20. To have that kick on the end of it was very disappointing. What about sending it up in the air? Here we go, DJ. Oldfield down the line again.
Here goes Michael Oldfield, kicks back inside the chase there too for Josh Jackson. Josh Jackson, who's got the ball, is it Lamatasi? They survive another shot, thanks Chook. They're really going to have to be on the game because you can just sense that the junior Kangaroos have picked up the pace. Fisiahi with the carry.
Well, you've got to give a big rap there to Lamatasi and chase back. He was in the middle of the football field, worked his way back to shut down that try for the Australians, but at the moment it looks all one-way traffic.
Ball's popped out from the hands of Martin Kopo into the hands of Kane Morgan. Kane Morgan thinks he can go on the outside of Justin O'Neill. He's still going. It's a really good run by the youngster out of South Sydney, and they're only on tackle 2. Heading towards halfway. This is Mataora. Mataora beats one, gets them bang on the halfway line. Jones in the tackle as well. Johnson. He finds Tasi. Tasi puts that big left hand, gets it away this time. Licky puts the gas on, steps up his right. Licky still going, and going again. Looks to his right, gets the ball away, but it's been a loose carry. Thankfully picked up by Billy Tupou. Tackle 5 has been signaled by the referee. Goes into the hands of Johnson. Steps. He'll look to kick Willie. Still going. Johnson pops to Ikahi for Tupou. Tupou 1. Tupou 2. Looks to offload. Can he? And has forgotten the tackle count. Oh, referee Rem called 5. Look up.
Well, very exciting attack from the junior Kiwis. One job you have as a winger is to keep the tackle count. As a forward, you rely on them to be yelling out what tackle it is. That time we saw Tupou get too excited and tackle the ball. It's a handover.
I hope you realise you just dissed the front rows completely and suggested that the backs were a much smarter group of men.
Well, they did nothing on the wing, but they got more energy.
Here's Licky with the bust. It was a good bust too. He needs to get involved a lot more, does Siwatonge. That's what caused the junior Kangaroos all sorts of bother early in the first half. But it was a casual pass as the junior Kangaroos looked to work themselves towards halfway. Tight little play from Gagai. He gets involved. Beats 1, beats 2, beats 3. Gagai is still going. And he is still going. Over halfway is Dane Gagai. Finally, 3 New Zealanders stop him. On tackle 4. 45 out from the New Zealand line. King finds Norman. Little short ball. On is Matthew Wright out of Cronulla. Right on 5. King waits, goes to the air for Norman. There's some air on this ball. That is a beautiful bomb. Fisiahi gets it and takes it beautiful. Now he'll want to run, and the Fish does so. Good kick return from Glenn Fisiahi. Some 20 tries in the Toyota Cup this year.
Yeah, great take there. There's a spiralling kick going around the post. Is always hard to catch. Just that set there, it emphasises just how fast this Australian side's playing the ball, catching the junior Kiwis unawares around that ruck area.
McElrick in at acting half. Johnson calls for it. Ball comes back inside. Sims with a shot, but just bounces off Isaac Maliota, who's now on.
Out wide, hold. Short side.
And it's a slow get-up for Tarek Sims, and he felt that cut-out ball from Tuamavavi. He finds Kane Morgan. Morgan gets the ball away, and they're still going. That's Drury Lowe and 4 sitting out on the wing, and he may have been pushed out. Yes, he has. Kangaroo ball.
A lot better though from the Kiwis, looking to shift the ball early on. I think it was Johnson stepped up, the Tuamavavi, and went down the left-hand side of the football field nice and early, and then great pace, great step, but just a little bit too close to the sideline, and you have to say good cover defence from the Australians.
Yet the idea was there, Owen, and that's what will please coach David Kidwell, but it's more green and gold ball. New Zealand trail 10-0 after almost 20 minutes of this junior international. Just remember that the junior Kangaroos won the first test 24-16 last weekend in Wellington. Australian scrum, 25 out from their own line here at Rotorua. Beautiful day.
That's one. Move. Let him go.
Quick play the ball required. Here comes King. He finds Gagai getting in very involved. It's run straight to Johnson. He won't want to let him get away.
Release him now. Get square. Hold. Go.
King looks for Sims. Sims still going. Already knocked up 71, 72 metres in his carries. He'll play the ball 42 out from the New Zealand line. Beale. King for Williams. Williams looked for that inside shot, but well tackled. Nicely taken by Matthew McCulloch. King for Norman. Norman still going. They've let him go. And they've let it go. There's Ben Jones, the skipper. Pops one over the back. And it's still play on court on 5. King gets one away. Is it too much? Yes, it is. Oh, they were lucky there, the junior Kiwis.
Well, the ball hitting the ground, just trying to throw it out the back there. The Australians playing with a bit more desperation than your junior Kiwis at the moment.
And the middle 9.
But you emphasise the run of Sims and how much work he's done. 10 hit-ups for him. Cunningham 9. You go across to the front rows of the JKs. Here at Ioane's got 2 and Topo's got 3. So a lot more work done by the junior Roos.
Pakiafu with his first carry in the 17 jersey for New Zealand. As Kane Morgan, who has tried to help us forwards and has done so with some promise, plays the ball 35 out from his own line. Mataora settled his game down a bit. Charges forward. 3 out from halfway. New Zealand trailing 10-0. Here's McKillerick. Dodges a high shot. Goes down inside the Australian half. Tackle 3. Tumavavi with Johnson. Mataora hanging out on that right-hand side. He's still going. He's, excuse me, Lamatasi, and the ball goes wide. So Billy Tufo unable to hold on to the ball, and on tackle 4 they give it away, and once again Australia will get the ball in good field position.
Well, it just looks as if the junior Kiwis are trying to beat the man before they create. They're trying to work harder as opposed to smarter. Here we see second row skipping across, beating 1 or 2 and then electing to pass. I'd like to see them maybe shift the ball a little early on before contact. Just try and change the angles and ask more questions from the defensive line of the Australians.
Yeah, DJ, some questions still to be answered by the Kiwis about getting back into this game.
Well, it's all about the structure of their play at the moment, and I think they've got a trump card coming up in just a minute. Salawini warming up on the bench. There runs out a dummy half. Haven't been great. We've seen McCulloch have a good one just a couple of minutes ago, but far more of them needed. The arm wrestle's over now. Now the creative football starts. We need to hold possession.
Busy in the tackle and the wrestle. That's what they talked about at training and with the junior Kiwis camp this week. Matthew Wright still going. He'll play the ball 22 out from New Zealand's line. Australia looking for more points. They've let King run. There's Williams. Cut out ball, finds Gagai. Gagai steps. Gagai straightens. Gagai scores.
Well, isn't this kid something special? Just the way he runs is just so smooth and fluent. Just coming back on the inside there. Just great attack all round from the Australians. Good dummy runners. We see the play on the right side of the football field. Out of dummy half, turns one in, under, asks questions, sending a dummy man through. And then Gagai gets the ball, just too much pace. Goes over for a 4-pointer.
He was the man that the junior Kiwis had targeted to shut down, but they've failed to do it this time. Steps off his left-hand side, goes inside Johnson for Siahi. Some pretty average tackling by the junior Kiwis, and Dane Gagai scores his 3rd try in 2 weeks for the junior Kangaroos, who have now jumped out to a 14-0 lead here at Rotorua's International Stadium, and given his kicker Cameron King a much better chance of adding the extras. And there'll be a lot of talking, and there should be a lot of talking behind the lines in the junior Kiwis camp. Cameron King goes through his routine. 15 out, 20 in. Strikes this one sweetly again and straight over the middle of the uprights, and the junior Kangaroos have advanced their lead. It's now 16-0. Australia lead New Zealand.
Well, once again, have a look at Licky comes out the line. Nothing wrong with the defence, but his reading in defence is a big problem. Opens up the space for Gargai. And did I just mention a trump card for New Zealand? Well, let's how about a trump card for Australia? His name's Gargai.
So the faces have dropped a little bit on the junior Kiwis as Sean Johnson restarts us here at Rotorua International Stadium. They allow the ball to bounce again, but no dramas there as big Matthew Wright hits the ball up. And they start again. Defending, defending, defending. That's what the New Zealand team have been doing all afternoon. Nice little short ball. That finds Mark Nichols. The Raiders' second row will play the ball 35 out from his own line. Finds Cameron King. Tries to get past Ika Hihifo, but Ika Hihifo gets him on the second grab. 11 missed tackles. It's not going to help your game. Beale for Williams. Just a little short ball. Punches it down the line. Has he found the legs? Yes, he has. He's finished that one about, gee, count it, a metre in. So it'll be New Zealand ball back on the 10.
Gee, they look good. The Junioroos just very clinical, going about their business. I actually think if they kept the ball in here, that really got the junior Kiwis on the rope. A lot of their boys walking very tirely back to the scrum.
You can remember at the 60-minute mark in that first Wellington test where the Australians just upped the ante on defence and jammed the Kiwis inside the 10. Let's see what they do here. Johnson finds Licky, tries to put the gas in, but is hit straight upright by Ben Jones and co. Not getting the quick plays away. This is Billy Tupou coming off his wing, helping his forwards out, who will be starting to feel the heat a little bit, as will the Australians. Quick play, there's Nuffy Salawini. Salawini goes on his own, gets away from one. That's why he's the super sub. Salawini finds McKillerick. McKillerick gets the ball away. This is Lamatasi. And they get their penalty. Finally a penalty to the Kiwis. They'll be happy with that. Now they need to take advantage of it.
The man, Nuffy Salawini, coming off on the field for the junior Kiwis. For him to be effective, they need quick play the balls. Here he is, dummy, just the fend and the pace, the ability to get through the tackle. That's what they need more of.
Very good buy for Penrith in 2011, Nuffy Salawini. 16-0. Almost 28 minutes gone in the first half of this junior international at Rotorua. Paki Afu bounces off one, straight. It's Afu going. Afu straight through. Oh, the ball's come out. There was a hand of God in there, was there? My goodness. Had a chance, blew it.
Well, a great run first up, bumping one or two defenders off. Then he only had eyes for one man. He wanted to take on Gagai. Here he is beating the first two defenders. Eyes up the fullback and says, I'm going to have a piece of you.
He did too. And the ball's just popped out.
Well, I guess that's what I was trying to emphasise earlier on, is the junior Kiwis look as if they're trying to run over people as opposed to playing a little smarter, maybe looking for the early pass before contact, or using your smarts a little more, playing the ball quickly.
Justin O'Neill meets a wall of three, including Drury Lowe and Glenn Fisiahi. O'Neill will play the ball 12 away from his own line. Gargai's involved straight away. Dominic Walsh from the Titans is on 14 for the junior Kangaroos. The junior Kiwi starting to man up in defence, throw numbers in it, try and limit the damage. Corey Norman. And there's a knock-on being called early in that. So here's another chance for the junior Kiwis to get first points on the board.
Well, this is exactly what they need. Another opportunity to mount some attack. It'll all rest on the halves, Johnson and Timavavi. Just trying to get their troops running the right lines, give a bit of attacking structure and ask questions.
So here's the play of the ball. It was a quick play of the ball. I can't. Well, if you can find the knock on, you're a better man than I am. Here's Licky. Straightens up, puts the left hand, step on, still going is Licky. 12 out from the Australian line. Kiwis looking to put first points on the board. Johnson, slow ball, finds Topo. Topo straightens, gets to just on the 10-metre mark. Tackle two. Can the Kiwis score? Salawini. Ball comes back inside. Afu has dropped it again. Coach killer.
Well, you can see the junior Kiwis just frustrated there. And again, Martin Topo gives away a penalty, I think it is. But there it is, completion rate, 33%. Hard to mount an attack when you're completing that little with the football.
5-1 the penalty count against New Zealand as Sam Williams puts the ball out. 21 out from his own line. So New Zealand going to have to hold some more ball. As Australia now work their way out of their own half. King. He will find Mark Appleton, who is on now. Appleton on in 15. Can't miss him. Red boots, blonde hair. Keep on going. There's King. Runs straight to Nafi Salawini. Drop him quickly. Stop that dummy half running. They'll go a long way as Appleton again. Second quick carry. Looking to jam them. There's King. Mark has been called out of square. King still going. Bounces off Topo. There's Gagai. Gagai. He finds Matthew Wright. There's Norman. Norman's still going. Looks back for his Gagai again. Numbers out to the right. There's Justin O'Neill. Has O'Neill scored this time? He missed a couple last week, and we will go upstairs again. O'Neill likes the video ref, does he? He just draws the attention of the video ref. The young boy from Melbourne scored one, and I think was denied 2 last week, but they've just been run around.
Oh, look, that's got to go down as one of the best tries I've seen this year if it's given. Just great play from the Australians. Everybody knowing what the man inside and outside was doing. Here's the finish.
They're just asking to see the grounding. Well, there it is there. Got the tip of the ball in.
Does he roll? I think that's where they're claiming the try.
Well, I think the try was scored before we even see that as he came down on his back. But I'm not Russell Smith. Let's see how many replays he wants. Defense is certainly all at odds, and it's about there, I would suggest. Now, you know what? I think I'm wrong because I've mistaken the edge of the ball for a wristband.
The white tape.
Bit of white tape's caught the old fella out.
Well, he definitely gets it down at the end. It's whether he rules it tackled before then. I'm picking it's a try.
Wait for it, Shane Rem. Will it have to be ref's call again as it was the first try to Michael Oldfield? Or is referee Russell Smith made his mind up? Waiting, waiting, waiting. Here it comes. Has O'Neill scored? Yes, he has. Another try. Try number 4 to Australia. It's 20 points to 0. Kick to come.
I'll put that down to the quick play the balls from the Australian side. Just catching the Kiwis down on the ground far too often. And in and around the dummy half, here we see it. Great footwork and the ability to beat a man, then pass the ball. We see the Kiwis trying to run over players. The Australians are just using their skill, letting the ball do the work, running it spaces, not faces. But this man gets nice and low and backs himself, and fantastic try.
Just watching it, some beautiful hands. Corey Norman here. It's almost as if the Kiwis have been chasing shadows because they've been getting that ball out quickly. Justin O'Neill this time with his first real chance over the line will score the try. And they are starting to run away with this one, but you never say never in this game, as we saw last week. 20 points, many points. Doesn't really matter at this level. This time he's on the grandstand touchline, Cameron King. He's 25 out and bang on the touchline. That's how he goes from this side. Well, just like his first attempt from the other side, this time it's a hook, not a slice. No extras added, but it's 20-0. Australia lead New Zealand.
Don't you love it when your confidence is so high that no one overplays their hand? These young Brews, they've certainly got New Zealand on the ropes at the moment. The ball handling in that movement, quite unbelievable, guys. Dave Lomax wants to get his guys into the shed as quick as possible. One bonus, Sam Lousy about to get his boarding pass.
Sean Johnson restarts as Big Sam lumbers on in 15 for the New Zealanders. The ball is taken once again beautifully by Corey Norman. The ball's come loose and knock-on called. So as we head towards half-time with a little under 8 minutes to go, maybe, just maybe, New Zealand can get across the Australian try line. But they really haven't executed their options well.
They haven't, and I guess that's one positive you could say if you're going into half-time, is that you haven't completed too well. You've had opportunities, You've got the guys out there that can score points. If we can complete a set, maybe we'll come up with points.
Ball comes out. Fisiahi was sitting at the back of the scrum, and he's lost the ball. One-on-one strip. If it's going to go wrong on a day, it's going to go wrong, isn't it? Right now, it's going wrong for the junior Kiwis. They will be looking forward to half-time. Dominic Walsh looking for a quick play of the ball. In comes Mark Appleton in 15. Taking some heat off Cameron King, who's waiting in dummy half. King. He finds Matthew Wright, the big Cronulla front rower. Parked 40 metres out, 10 from halfway. Norman, cut out ball. Finds Sam Williams, going to look for that little inside ball. No, he's going to find plenty of out on his left-hand side. Josh Jackson, Williams again. This is Mark Nichols. Mark Nichols rumbling over the top of Nuffy Salawini. Gets up again, so Salawini has another crack. They're on 5 and 20 out. Can they conjure up another try? Williams kicks behind the defensive line. Bounces behind Tupou, and he gets a lucky bounce. Didn't touch it.
Every time the Australians get the ball, they look likely to score points. They're having the luxury of putting in attacking kicks. They're bringing the ball back 60 to 70 metres. It's all too easy for you.
Sam Lousy with his first hit up. It's a lumber into a strong defensive line. Carries it about 8 metres. Salawini finds Pakiafu, who will just want to put more of that spray on his hands because he hasn't had much luck with the hands at the moment. Salawini for Topo at speed. He's running across the field. Doesn't want to run out of room. Runs into the tackle of Nathan Massey, and then 3 other Kangaroos try and monster him just before the halfway. Mata order. 1 out, carries running sideways, not going forwards. Runs into the forwards of Matthew Wright and Dominic Walsh. Here's Salawini. Looks up. Salawini looks to offload. Gets the ball finally. Well, it's a lazy old pass, but they're running. Lousy beats one. Doesn't beat the other tackle also of Michael Oldfield, and is stopped. 38 out from the Kangaroos line. 5 and last for New Zealand. Still waiting to get on the board. Trailing by 20. Johnson under pressure as the kick goes behind. It'll be the Johnson chip and chase, but goes straight down the throat of Gagai, who easily steps him and then runs across and beats every tackler that tries to stop him. Gagai, what a run. Gets him back to 2 away from the halfway. Star in the making.
Well, the players that you call that have the X factor for your side, you need them to step up. And Gagai's doing that for his side. On the other side of the football field, you've got Sean Johnson, who's been very quiet so far in this game. Carlos Tumavavi, the other half, they really need to take this game under the horns and guide their side around the park.
Appleton with a very rare mistake by this Australian side. Forward pass just on halfway. Ball's been kicked away, so time off has been called. 3.5 minutes, a little bit more than that to go in the first half. It's Australia in control. 20 points to nil here at Rotorua International Stadium. A beautiful Saturday afternoon. The first of 2 matches coming up after this. It's the Kiwis versus Papua New Guinea in game 2 for both of them of the 4 nations. Fisiahi comes into the back line, puts the pedal down, nobbled by his opposite number, and Gagai. Licky, stopped by Oldfield. Ben Jones over the top. Lousy puts the big right shoulder in, looking to get the right arm away, unable to do so. Takes 3 to stop him. Tackle 3 for the Kiwis. Johnson. Tuamavavi comes back inside, stops by Matthew Wright. The ball is away. This is Awane. They've been quiet in the first half as Mark Awane. They don't want to go out again. They've been pushed out once before in the first half. On 4, New Zealand yet to score. Johnson. Ikahihifa at pace. Unable to go too far. The junior Kangaroos defence rock solid. On 5, 11 out, and a penalty. Clock's ticking. Can they score before the split? Give themselves some confidence. Salawini for the skipper, Topo. Runs sideways again. Now straightens. 5 out from the Australian line. Here come the Kiwis. Salawini, will he go alone? Can he stretch? No! Strong defence. Great defence by Australia. Looking for the quick play. And the penalty. Not going to get it. Tumavave. Johnson holding. Here comes the run from Fisiahi. Fisiahi still going. Fisiahi gets the ball away from Tupou. Pops it out, tiptoeing on the touchline. Licky. All a bit harem-scarum. Licky still going. Can't stop him. Tackle 3. Just inside the 10. What will they do? Will they score? Here's Big Sam. Tries to trundle his way forward. Stopped by 4 men in green and gold. Still no score. 20 points to 0. Tackle 4. Licky, long looping ball out for Johnson. Cutout ball. He finds Tumavave. Another cutout ball. This is Mataora back inside for Kane Morgan. Bumps 1, bumps 2, backs in. Running out of tackles. 5 and last. 5 out. Can the Kiwis score before the split? Johnson goes to the air looking for Tupou. He gets the ball. Bounces it back. Goes to the deck. No dice. No score. Great work, Australia.
Fantastic defence, side-to-side attack from the Kiwis, but the Australians just kept turning up for your man, working for each other. It shows me that this side is on song. It's one thing to score points, but the ability to turn away a side is just as important.
Billy Tupou unable to bat the ball back for his inside centre, and Suitongi Licky as the clock ticks towards half-time. It's 20 points to 0. 4 tries to Australia. All 4 tries have been rippers, to say the least. And the junior Kiwis just haven't clicked. Execution may be something that David Kidwell will be talking about at half-time.
Well, definitely, when your completion rate's so low, and you're giving away penalties, you just can't compete with an Australian side that is just running with that much intensity, and they're just having their way. They're getting quick play the balls. The dummy halves are creating. It's just all too easy for them.
Justin O'Neill just letting a tackler fly off. He's really strong centre out of the Melbourne Storm is Justin O'Neill. Finally stopped 28 out. Just winding down the clock as Mark Nichols just ambles up towards the 30-metre line. Excuse me, that was Dominic Walsh. Cameron King as the hooter sounds. Corey Norman. Sam Williams stopped by his opposite number, Sean Johnson, and that'll do us for the first 40 here at Rotorua's International Stadium in the Junior International. At half-time, a lot of work for the Kiwis to do in the second 40. It's the Junior Kangaroos 20, the Junior Kiwis 0. We'll have a look at the half and all the tries in just a tick. Time at Rotorua International Stadium, where it's all been the junior Kangaroos in the first half, leading 20-0. The first try to Michael Oldfield. He just went through some very ordinary defence, Owen Goodwill, and that sort of set the tone in the 8th minute.
Well, it all come off back-to-back penalties for the Australians, and he done well. He backed himself this time. Earlier he got pushed over the sideline, so nice to see that he'll back himself, score points.
Then Josh Jackson just went through some very flimsy defence 4 minutes later, and it was down that that junior Kiwis right-hand side.
Well, it was junior Kiwis, but that's how the Warriors defended. They've given away a few tries. Here we see the junior Kiwis getting an opportunity with the ball going down the left, shifting the ball early in the tackle count, but just dragged over the sideline. We thought there was some impressive signs, but the Australians hit straight back, shifting the ball nice and wide. Great shape here, and Gagai just too classy that close.
Dan Gagai out of the Brisbane Broncos production line scored 2 last week. Wouldn't be surprised if he scored another one today, but just look at the balance. Too big, too strong, and scores the try. And Pakiafu had a chance. He was early on in this, busted up the middle, had eyes for Gagai, and the ball just came pinging out of his hands. And another opportunity, although the hand of Cameron King probably helped that. Speaking of Cameron King, he instituted one of the best tries to Justin O'Neill. This was all in, everybody in.
Well, it was just great work. Just the awareness and just playing with precision, not trying to run over players, just passing to space. And that all come on the back of quick play the balls. The Australians have just been having their way with the play the ball. New Zealanders find themselves on the ground, just creates opportunities, particularly out wide.
And the quick hands from Mark Nichols in that movement, or should I say Matthew Wright, that movement was very strong. The completion rates have gone up by both sides, but look at the completed sets by the junior Kangaroos, 17 plays 9. Ouch.
Well, it's just too hard. And when you're giving away penalties, it's a hot day here in Rotorua. It's going to make your workload even tougher.
Line break 7-3 against the junior Kangaroos, but just take a look at the missed tackles by the junior Kiwis. 21 plays 11, and the meters. The Kangaroos are just running, and they're just having it their way.
Well, it's that cycle. When you start missing tackles, you're giving away possession, you're giving away penalties. All of a sudden, you start missing a few, and the meters don't come as easy.
So 20 points to nil as the crowd begins to build for the feature game here at Rotorua's International Stadium. It will be the Kiwis against the Kumals, and it will be played in pristine conditions on a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in the Bay of Plenty. There's more on the other side, the second half of the junior Kiwis and the junior Kangaroos. Crowd building for our second game here at Rotorua's International Stadium, which will be the Kiwis against the Kumals. Plenty of Kiwi supporters in the crowd. There are Kumal supporters as well, as Stanley Guinea and his men get ready to put some bite into the later game. Well, there's plenty of bite in this first game between the junior Kangaroos and the junior Kiwis. It's the visitors, the Kangaroos, really in charge, 20 points, and all the Kumal supporters in their numbers here. And they certainly won't lack for providing entertainment after that Australian game last week, where they just threw themselves at the Australians. And I was actually quite surprised to see Tim Sheen's name an unchanged lineup, with Brent Tate certainly feeling the heat along with Anthony Watmo.
They did, but the Australians, a few of them haven't played for several weeks. They're 6, 7, 1 and 9, so they'll be better off for the challenge. But hopefully David Kubel can get his troops performing better in the second half. The wind looks as if it's picked up from behind their back, so they'll play with the wind. 20 points is a lot, but like you said earlier on, never write them off.
Yes, Markawani, you saw there a moment ago, certainly going to have to do some work. Very quiet first half, 3 carries, only 22 metres from the Mount Albert boy, heading off to the Canberra Raiders in 2011. As we see Dominic Walsh and Dane Gagai scored a beautiful try, the third try of the first half here, just glided through the New Zealand defence, as it will be the Australians are playing into a much stronger wind, running right to left, as you see it on the screen here at Rotorua's International Stadium. Shane Rem signals time on. The ball bobs up for Kane Morgan. Goes straight into a wall of green and gold. Trailing by 20. They'll want to be first on the board in this half. Sam Mataora had an untidy first half, pinged for 2 penalties that cost him in the end, as Martin Tolba with a great carry, the skipper leading by example, charging through, gets him 8 away from halfway. That will certainly do his confidence a world of good. Salawini still on. Awane, another strong carry. That's more like it from the junior Kiwis. Back in, gets the ball away to Salawini. Pops it away to Ika Hihifo. He spots a gap. Ika Hihifo still going. Gets up to play the ball, doesn't get the quick play. Finally plays the ball. Salawini wanting more. Salawini darts, steps up his right, looks to get it away, unable to do so. Good start by New Zealand on tackle 4, 12 out from the Australian line. Can they score early? Put the wind up the Aussies. The little chip from Johnson goes straight into the arms of Sam Williams. Have to ask the question, was that the option?
Great start from the junior Kiwis, coming out here running with a lot of enthusiasm, trying to get their side back into this game, and then on the back of that, Sean Johnson comes up with a poor kick, doesn't find the space. You'd have to say great hands there from Williams.
And they've just given away a penalty as well. It's early in the count. Here's what Shane Rem has to say.
He's gone, Martin, he's clear at the start, but he's gone too early. He's got to wait till it clears the heel. Martin, it's not a discussion, mate. He's gone early, and that's why I've blown the penalty.
So he's pinged Licky for going early. And that's the reason why Australia will have more ball, and they'll start their set 12 away from halfway. All business they are today, as Kyle O'Donnell, heading to Newcastle next year, picks up the first carry, plays it 3 away from halfway. King to Williams. Back inside to Tarek Sims. Tarek Sims closing in on 100 metres for the game early. Williams, cut out ball, finds Norman. Norman looks to Dominic Walsh. He's stopped. And they set their line again. Kiwis looking a bit flat-footed already as Mark Appleton takes a tidy little carry to the defensive line. 25 out from the New Zealand try line, leading 20-0. Norman looks up, was going to look at the cut, but just stops. Still going, Norman. Someone had better tackle him. Norman, having his own way, finally stopped, made about 5 metres, but looked at a pretty 5 metres inside the 20. Williams looks up. And the ball's gone out, and it's been gone out on the full, so it will be New Zealand ball.
Well, it's very important for the Kiwis to try and get down the other end of the field and score points. You get the feeling that if they don't get some momentum here, that the game will be done and buried. But if they can score very early in the second half, things will certainly go their way.
Okay, well, a touch has been called. They've changed the call. It wasn't out on the full. A late call from the referee, who was right there. So New Zealand ball. Let's go sideline. DJ, what are the coaches saying from the split?
Yeah, look, nothing broken in the New Zealand shed apart from a lot of pride. And when I spoke with Dave Lomax on the way out, he said the collisions were great. However, our work on the floor is not good. So once they go to ground, the Australians are a lot quicker out of them. He also said something about holding the ball, but I couldn't repeat it. It was pretty heated. And then for the Australian side, well, Dave Warwick there, their general manager, they said they wanted more of the same. They expected New Zealand to come with dummy half runs out of the likes of Solowini and those guys, and Johnson running the ball across field as we see on screen. So they just wanted them to hang tough.
Thanks, Chuck. Beautiful day down there, isn't it? That wind's stronger.
Look, that northeasterly is not going to get up, but it's as beautiful as we've seen as Lickily runs up, and I reckon Sir Richard Hadley love to run out there and bowl a ball at these Australians at the moment.
I think New Zealand would love to have him in the cricket team right now. There's Salawini on 5. What have they got? Johnson just drills one towards the in-goal area. Gago's got some work to do now. The chase by Billy Tupou. This time they get it right. This time New Zealand complete a set that looks much stronger, and Australia will kick into the wind from under the sticks.
Well, you can see the Kiwi boys just getting the spring in their step after that. Some good work, some great chase there from the big winger from New Zealand. Forcing a dropout. Johnson that time finds space with the kick. And the kick's only as good as its chase, and Tupou was the man on the spot. Very good work.
So, another chance early in the second half for New Zealand to try and get on the scoreboard. They're trailing by 20, but there's a long way to go. Ball holds up. It's let to bounce. Fisiahi had a moment as Makawane takes the first carry, met by Tarek Sims. Tarek Sims. 13 tackles, 11 hit-ups, 85 metres, make that 14 tackles. Mata order, short ball for Drury Lowe, playing in the centres for Dean Furrow, who injured his ankle in the first test, and that was his series gone. Mata order again. There's a scream, someone's screaming, Sam, give me the ball. Didn't give it. Now a good chance on tackle 3. About 5 out from the Australian line. Salawini finds Tuamavavi. Cut out ball, Johnson short to big Sam Lousy. Sam's got the right hand waiting to offload it, unable to do so in the tackle of Ben Jones and Carl O'Donnell. Fisiahi has thrown the ball backwards. There's the call, thankfully for Glenn. 5 and last. They come to the short side. Salawini, it's a chip, and Chase has been taken out, has he? No, is the call, and Gagai's away. They've let Dane Gagai go. He's going to go straight, but the chase is pretty good. It's a skipper, Martin Tobo, the big front rower, drags him down. Has he dragged him out? What a chase by the skipper. Fatherhood does wonderful things to the young man, but he's given away a penalty.
Well, I haven't seen that in a game where the Australians' fastest, Dane Gagai, finds himself in space, and a front rower comes across and shuts him down.
Once he's hit the ground, I've called hell. You have to release him. If you have a second go and work him, it's always a penalty, mate.
He was on top of me.
You leave me no choice. I understand, mate. You leave me no choice when you're working like that.
Good on him for just arguing with the ref after that run, because he's blowing. So penalty Australia after that Gagai run, and a wonderful chase by their skipper Martin Topol. 20 points to 0. Here comes Kyle O'Donnell charging into the defensive line. It's a good carry too. They're 10 out, looking to add more points after the Kiwis were down the other end. This is Matthew Wright. Matthew Wright going close, trying to back across the line. Stopped by Hifo and also Big Sam Lousy. Slow play the ball. He's not happy. He's not well at all. Ugly play the ball from Matthew Wright, who is not well at all, and he is in La La Land, trying to get back into the line. Williams finds Norman. Norman cut out ball. This is O'Neill, the try scorer, struggling to hold him up this time. They've still got him out this time, have they? Yes, they have. Matthew Wright out on the sideline. A lot worse for wear. A little bit of sting in the Kiwis defence.
Great. Here we see the big forward coming across. Plenty of yards to make up too. Takes him down and just here drags him out. Well, the ref is called held, so he's pulled him out. The penalty given away. But then great defence from the Kiwis, regrouping on the chase back and forcing the Australians over the sideline.
New Zealand ball inside their own 10. Licky going across, and the ball's gone to ground. Has it been called backwards? Yes, it has. So stroke of luck and play on still called. They finally get it away. Johnson looks for Martin Topo. Still got plenty of beans in the tank. He gets the ball away. Johnson. Martin Order puts a little step on, finds a gap, and he's away. Here come the Kiwis. He should look on his inside. He finds Fissier. Fissier's got the gas, has he? No, the ball's gone behind him, straight through the hands of Kane Morgan into the junior kangaroos' arms. So they cannot buy a trick today, New Zealand. But it is that same side that they had some success early in the first half.
Here we see the second row just breaking free. Does the right thing here, holds himself up, passes the ball on, and normally you'd think this man was away. If he backed himself with the pace, you thought he might have got there, but pops the ball on the inside and they turn it over.
Williams doesn't get the short ball away. It was for a charging Kyle O'Donnell. He got stopped dead flat. King for Sims. Sims pops one off to Cunningham, who's back on the field. That's their big 1-2 punch. Sims and Cunningham halfway. King, he kicks on 4. It's a good kick too. It'll end up about 3 out from the try line. But no change in the scoreline. Both sides have had shots. Both sides have come out with nothing, but the Australians are in the box seat, leading 20-0.
Well, there's a few guys out there sucking in the big ones. It's a very hot afternoon, and the start of the second half has been played at a great pace. A lot better from the junior Kiwis. They're creating, they're showing a lot more. If they can complete more sets, then I'm sure they're going to score points. They just have to hope that that's sooner rather than later. 30 minutes to go, they're 20 points down. They're feed with the ball, so they've got to go 90 metres.
Tumavabe feeds the scrum. That's just shot out the back.
Keep your feet down. Keep your feet down, please. Trainers.
So the reset.
Get back, please.
Shane Remus, the trainers. Mark Horter, one of them in the orange shirt, the 16-test Kiwi.
Keep your feet down, props. Hold. Out.
Look at Heath off the back of the scrum. Beats the tackle of Mark Appleton, who then comes on over the top of Tarek Sims. Kane Morgan, who's quite elusive, seems to beat at least the first and second tackle. He seems to be the only one getting some space.
Quick as 6. Go.
Salawini for a charging Martin Topo, who's certainly leading by example to try and get metres in for the junior Kiwis. But their points are the ones that want. Lamatasi again. Second good run from Lamatasi out of Manly. Quick play, Salawini finds Johnson on 4. Cut out ball from Lousy. Licky gets away from 1. Pops the ball wide out to Billy Tupou. They're running out of room, but Salawini, that's called the hospital pass. And Salawini gets monstered from the blind side. Lousy for Johnson on 5. Looks up. Comes back onto the short side. Johnson going alone. Gets the ball away to Lamatasi. Try! Finally, they've broken through. And the junior Kiwis score.
Well, some very good work there from individuals in this junior Kiwi side. Just getting their noses through, running with a bit more intensity. And there it was in the last tackle. Sean Johnson pops back to the short side. Oh, here's the break first. We see Licky coming down, flicks the ball out. The Tupou back on the inside. And Salawini gets smashed, but here it is. The ball there from Lousy. The step back on the short side. Johnson flicks the ball out. And it's that man Tassi on the spot to score the points.
Lamatasi was the one that actually made the initial break and has certainly responded by scoring the try. Couldn't have gone to a better young man, Lamatasi out of Manly. And he's popped it pretty much in front of the uprights as well. Johnson converts. The gap is down to 14. Now, that may sound a lot, but I don't think it is. 20 points to 6. The Kangaroos lead the Kiwis here in Rotorua.
So after a nice break up the middle, the Kiwis, Sean Johnson looks to his left and nothing doing, so he checks back in behind the ruck and finds some lazy Australians. Pure speculator back into the middle, and Tassie's there. They needed that for sure. Plenty to go in the second half, and in the under-20s competition, there's plenty of time.
On the money, Chuck, that's how it works. 20 points to 6, 14 points the difference. Australia lead New Zealand here in Rotorua in the Junior International. Corey Norman restarts us. It's high and short of that very strong wind that the Junior Kangaroos are running into, and Pakiafu runs straight into the tackle of Kyle O'Donnell. Salawini, Johnson, Licky now puts the big left arm out. They're starting to struggle with Licky. That could be a good sign for the Junior Kiwis. Salawini spots the gap down the short side. Salawini. Meters coming a little bit easier now for the Junior Kiwis, putting the pressure on. Big Sam rumbles it up. They're staying on the short side. Big Sam's gone, but the ball's come out. He's going to call for a strip. Not called. And Gagai has the ball. Beats one tackle, beats two. They get the ball away to Corey Norman. The boys in the bright coloured boots doing the damage. Norman this time stopped. 30 out from his own line. Quick play. This is Dominic Walsh out of the Titans. Beats one tackle. The shot was a good one. He's finally stopped. 8 out from halfway. Williams looked for the inside ball on the run of James Cunningham. Didn't get it. New Zealand with 4 interchanges left. Remember, 12 interchanges in international football as Tariq Sims with another carry. He is a class act, this Tariq Sims.
He'll go all day for you, and he'll come up with great runs. And when he plays the ball, there's always a defender left on the ground. That's why it's so good.
Appleton. Anderson's coming on. Justin O'Neill scored a try in the first half. Gets the ball back to Appleton. Appleton still going. They're watching. It could cause trouble. Dominic Walsh straightens. 12 out. Here come the Junior Kangaroos. You score one, we can score one too. King. Norman holds inside ball. Great run. Forward pass. Survived a bullet, did New Zealand.
Well, you can see them again trying to target that middle third of the field, just directing the play back into the tiring forwards. There, if it wasn't for a forward pass, Australian side would have notched up another 4-pointer. But the Junior Kiwis, when they had their last opportunity with the football, they looked really good. Here's a look at the forward pass, selling the dummy to the left inside. Miles forward from here, Miles.
Shane Ram's one of those referees that likes to make the decision on the spot. He didn't muck around there. And it's New Zealand ball to Mavave. This is Morgan. Morgan gets that right arm away. He's pretty elusive as Kane Morgan. Drury Low running, straightens and goes into pace in the tackle of Appleton. And also Dominic Walsh. Morgan again, second carry in the set. And a penalty. Morgan has racked up 112 metres on 7 carries, so he is doing the job. I'm sure he'd like to get across the try line as well.
Yeah, he's been very good, very busy for this Junior Kiwi side. He's the only player to have notched up over 100 metres. Those contributions certainly helped his side. Let's hope they can get 4 points off the back of his hard work.
Lamatasi, the try scorer that got New Zealand back into this game. Salawini from Mataora. Another good run, Mataora through. Here comes Lowe. Lowe will score. They've opened them up again. Another second rower does the damage, and New Zealand scored this time to Drury Lowe. 2010 kick to come.
Well, you got a sense that this Junior Kiwi side after half-time were up in their game. And here a great charge for Mataora. And then Juri Lowe, the man on the spot, in support, picks up a 4-pointer for the junior Kiwis. They're back, they're back.
Some Mataora saw what Lamatasi did, says, well, I can do it, you can do it, I'll bust the line, handoff. And Juri Lowe gets the Kiwis further into this game as we head towards the hour mark. One of the very talented Canberra Raiders out on the park is Juri Lowe. And then make it easy for Shaun Johnson. He's about 18 out, 18 in from the commentary box touchline. Aiming it towards the lake. And he swung it around, sneaked in on the right hand upright. It's 20 points to 12. The Kiwis are coming. Have they got the time?
Well, isn't momentum a marvellous thing in rugby league and so much needed in the under-20s comp? These guys are teammates from the Canberra Raiders, Mataora and Juri Lowe, the try scorer. They made their debuts in first grade this year against the Warriors at Mount Smart. A couple of stars on the rise.
So the gap is down to 8. Hold on to your hats. This is what the Toyota Cup's been like all season as the Kangaroos restarted that strong win they're facing. Back comes New Zealand. Suddenly they're making all the meters. Kane Morgan bumps one off again, bumps another one, backs up, straightens as Mark Appleton over his head. New Zealand with all the work in the second half and all the meters. Salawini finds a gap. Salawini's still going. He's got Pakiafo on his right. Pakiafo is still going. He looks back. Salawini's there. Oh, bumps one off. Salawini gets it again. Try New Zealand. Woo!
Oh, great work there from the junior Kiwis. All started off the kickoff when you get your forwards charging the ball as hard as they can. And then a side with confidence, side with momentum, sees Nafe Salawini out of dummy half. Scamper passes the ball on to Pakiafu, who says, I'm going to line up that bloke again and do a better job. Offloads the ball there, and this man, Nafe Salawini, can make a difference.
Nafe Salawini, he didn't get a lot of game time last week, and we did question that of David Kidwell, where he's left him on, and he's making it a huge difference. Salawini gets a try he deserves, a try he set up, and New Zealand are back in this international. A little bit of a more challenging kick for Shaun Johnson. Strikes it well, strikes it true, and the gap is 2. Here we go, 20 points to 18. And the Kiwis have brought this crowd alight.
Oh, can you feel the excitement rising? It's heating up down here. Salawini out of dummy half. Listen, I thought this was Martin Tupou running beside him, and I thought he was going to unleash a handbrake and go all the way himself after his marvellous chase. But it does so well on the one-hander back to Salawini. So deserving of a try. So wanted this guy to play long minutes today. Let's hope he does.
Suddenly there's a buzz around Rotorua International Stadium. The big comeback is on. Kane Morgan takes it tidily off the restart. And let's see if this momentum can carry the junior Kiwis into the lead. Tumavavi for Lamatasi, beats 1, beats 2, and Lamatasi, the 2 second row, is really starting to do the damage for the junior Kiwis. Quick little play. This is Sebastian Ikehihifo. Don't give this young warrior any room because he will carve them up the middle. They come the left-hand side to Mataora. Mataora gets the ball away. It's a short ball too. And it's held on to by Kane Morgan. Just has to stay in. Yes, he does. And tried to push him out on tackle 4. Tumavavi, little uncertain, finds Johnson a bit slow. Pakiafu pushes back Williams. Pakiafu still going. They're on tackle 5, but they're a fair way out. They're 30 out from the Australians' try line. Johnson, he'll put a little grubber and look for the run. Gagai almost, but they stop him this time. They do not let Gagai go.
Well, what's been good about this junior Kiwis in the second half, they played a lot more direct. They're going forward, running as hard as they can. They're trying to find quick play the balls, which allows your halves a bit more time and space with the football.
Australia now having to work out of their half. King Almost collared by Salami. This time it's big Pakiafu all over the little hooker from St George Illawarra. Look at the offloads just going crazy for New Zealand as Appleton settles things down, straightens it up. They're on 5 and last inside their own half, about 8 from halfway. It goes to Sam Williams, tick long, but it's into wind and goes straight down the throat of Billy Tupou, who beats one and straightens. Billy Tupou is away. Here goes Billy Tupou. He steps again, looks to his right, and Fisiahi picks the ball up, and it's play on call. Fisiahi straightens, and Australia is scrambling. 20 out from the Australian try line, and the junior Kiwis have got some sting in their tail. Tuamavavi strains, almost beats one. Has Mataora on his left-hand side. Doesn't get the quick play of the ball. Mataora will take it on his own. They're setting on tackle 3. Salawini, what's he got up his sleeve? Nuffy. Short ball for Lamatasi. Held up. Not getting the quick play. Salawini comes to the right-hand side. Williams off his line quickly. There's the skipper, Martin Tupou. Tupou spots the gap. Try the skipper. Celebrates being a first-time dad, and the Kiwis have gone in the front.
Well, you won't find a happier bloke on the football field than Martin Tupou. He was a man that inspired his side with a great chase back. Only minutes into the second half, he showed his side in that effort, boys. This ain't over. Let's back ourselves, and we'll get back in this. Some great lead-up work here from Bill Tupou. Just dancing, toying with the defence. And if that ball had found the fish on the full, they would have scored right there and then. But out of dummy half, they come wide. Johnson, pressure on him. And then the captain says, thank you very much. This one's for you, my young daughter.
The junior Kiwis have found their mojo, and they've found it at the right time. A little over a quarter of an hour to go. There's still a long way in this game. Johnson again, perfect from the spot. It's 24-20, and suddenly this game is well and truly alive. Now we'll see how deep the Kangaroos can dig.
What I so like about this movement from Shaun Johnson is that when he found the big guy, Tupou, on the outside, he saw the fractured line of Australia. It was a short ball, and he let the broken line do the difference. And a big guy running at holes, it'll do a damage for you, no problem.
Martin Tupou, just noticed there, he pointed to the Kiwi emblem to his teammates. That's what it's all about. It's about being a Kiwi. Corey Norman restarts us here at Rotorua International Stadium. 4 quick tries, has the junior Kiwis back in front. As Kane Morgan doesn't worry about dancing or stepping, just runs straight. Tuamavavi is waiting. Then there's Lamatasi, this impressive second rower. Out of Manly. Here's Ika Hihifo. Hasn't he come into his game? We've seen this before all season. The premiership-winning Warriors Toyota Cup side. Once he gets going, he's very hard to stop, as is this young man.
Yeah, look, Sebastian out of dummy half is really good. In the first half, he was using all his energy in defence. Now he's starting to bring his attacking game to play, so look out if you're an Australian.
Here goes Johnson looking to get the ball away to Salawini, who's dropped it. Just pushed the pass a little bit, and the movement dies down. But when you look at the faces of the Kangaroos, I think they're quite happy that that's fallen down. 23 second half missed tackles by the junior Kangaroos. But he's still shouting. Look at this. They're ready to go all the way now. They know they've got the edge.
The JKs have shown a lot of character in the second half. They've done the majority of defence in the first. They're under the pump here, but they've dug deep. Now, can they dig deep for this set of 6?
Dan Gagai enacting half, playing the ball. There's Corey Norman. Almost let Justin O'Neill get away. He's a lump of a lad to try and stop from Melbourne. Here's Ben Jones, the skipper, coming in and acting half. Norman. He finds Mark Nichols. Nichols plays the ball there. Decide to up the ante a bit. Williams cut out ball. Finds Dominic Walsh out of the Tides. They're still alive. Williams back to Nichols. Now the junior Kiwis had better be careful. They're on tackle 4, 30 out from the Kiwis line. Williams to Norman. Nice little ball to Josh Jackson. He's a hard nut to stop. And on 5 and last, 20 out. Norman running. He's going to kick in behind. Straight into the arms of Johnson, who just straightens up, finds a gap and is gone. Still going. He's passed the ball backwards, straight into the hands of Australia. So you've got an overrun, and he's passed it straight back into the junior kangaroo's hand. A little bit of panic setting in, maybe. Ben Jones still going, the Australian skipper. 2 out. Has Gerard Beale at acting half. Options either side, goes to Stan Williams. Almost hands it into Mark Nichols. There's Gagai. They've got to stop Gagai at first stop. They don't stop him. He was the target man all week. Stopped Gagai. They failed to do so in the first half. They have done so in the second. Jones. Short ball to James Cunningham. Cunningham rumbles towards the line. About a metre out now. Looking to get back in front. 24-20 New Zealand lead after trailing 20-0 at the split. Goes behind. Is picked up. This is Matthew Wright. Dominic Walsh, excuse me. Walsh on 4. They're losing ground. Jones for Norman. Norman kicks through, looks for the runner. Comes off a Kiwi. Not played out as the call. They've got to stop Gagai. They're on 4 still. They're letting them run. Williams. And what are the runners like? It's being picked up. And they have finally stopped New Zealand. Have they? No! What work by Billy Tupou. Poor defence by Australia. Great work by Billy Tupou.
Well, that's up there with the captain's effort early on in this first half, chasing back.
Dropped off. Hey.
Wait for it.
Where you go? Where you go? Walk away.
They're calling for a one-on-one strip, the Australians.
Dropped off, boys. 2 in the tackle. Dropped off.
And there's your answer from referee Shane Rem. Penalty count starting to favour the Kiwis a little bit more. It was 5-1 in the first half against them. Now it's 7-4. The clock is ticking. Here it is here. Look at the work of Billy Tupou here. Picks it back. Bumps off 1 tackle. Gets away from 3 tackles. Finally Sam Williams gets him. Selawini. Here comes the skipper, Martin Topo. Still going. Legs driving. Selawini again. Gets away from 1. Can't get away from 2. Johnson. Looks for Lamatasi. Takes on Gerard Beale. 2 young big men coming together. Crowd loves it. 24-20. Closed in on the last 10. Tumavave. Tumavave shows and goes. Gets stopped. 38 out from the Australian line. Tackle 5. Almost 70-30. The possession understandably in favour of New Zealand. Ika Hihifos, has he forgotten the tackle out? No, he hasn't. Bit of a dab on. Big Sam pops it out to Licky Licky. Steps inside Licky Licky. He's got numbers. He'll go himself. Suitongi Licky Licky ices another one. It's 28-20. Kick to come.
Oh, just look at the Kiwis celebrating there. They know the effort that they've had to put in the second half. Their backs were against the wall at half-time, 20-0 down. They've dug deep. And here it comes. You can see Sean Johnson sending Sebastian Ikahifu through as the block runner. He gets his hands on the ball. They flick it out to the right. Sam Lousy, ball in one hand, onto Licky Licky. Great footwork. The dummy. And scores the try.
Here it comes again, Ikahihifo. He realised he was on last, so they decided to chance through. Ball tapped on. Big Sam, look at that. Holds it like a pineapple in one hand. Gets it back to Licky Licky. Decides I'll have a crack. Flat foots. Either Corey Norman or Dane Gagai. Was one of them with the very colourful boots. And New Zealand have extended their lead to 8 points. Could be 10 if Sean Johnson is successful at the conversion. He's 22 out and about 11 in from the grandstand touchline. That's the view. Takes the headgear off, trying to suck up a little bit of time. Time back on, a little over 8 minutes to go. Strikes it sweetly. Hasn't missed one today, Sean Johnson. 5 converted tries. It's 30 points to 20. The gap is now 10 as the clock works against Australia.
What I like about this is they continue to go down the right, and you have a look at Williams. He's the edge defender. Oldfield had dropped back in the line. They decided to go there. Williams can't stop the ball. A big Sam Lousy does his job and palms on. Licky for sure. You got to love it, don't you? Spring carnival time of the year with horse racing, and the Kiwis are full of running.
So Australia restart for the 5th time in this second half, and they're not happy about that. They wanted to whitewash the Kiwis. It looked like they were going to do that in the first half, but right now they're trailing by 10 after leading 20 points to 0 at the split inside the last 10. Here comes Mataora. Quick play. Kane Morgan has been effective down that left-hand side, hasn't he, Arwen? He's just done enough to put them in two minds.
Well, he's been one that has been working very hard all day, and it just allows guys like this to make a break.
Here comes Sebastian Ikahifa. Will he go all the way himself? No, he finds Tuamavavi. What a pickup! Tuamavavi from his feet, and New Zealand are in again. Wow.
Oh, this is just too good. The junior Kiwis just decide, playing with confidence, throwing the ball around. And we're talking about the outside backs doing great work, but here you got the lock forward. Ikahifa spinning through a tackle, claps on the pace, and the ball here, we thought he was going to go all the way. Down around the bootlaces, one-handed by Tuamavavi. That's a play.
You won't see too much better in the NRL as well when it comes to a final pickup from a pass. Sebastian Ikahifa, a member of the Warriors Toyota Cup winning premiership side. Look at the pickup. One hand, Carlos Tuamavavi. Take a bow.
I don't know if it's one hand. I think 2 fingers got there. That was awesome.
New Zealand beginning to run away with it as the clock ticks towards 0. 34-20. 6 tries in the second half. Johnson hasn't missed one conversion. And he doesn't miss another. 36-20 to Meki, you bet.
I don't want to discredit the break here, but this try is all about the pickup from Carlos Tuamavavi. Earlier in the year, I had a chance to meet him, and Johnny Ackland said this kid's something special. I said, what makes him different? He said, have a look at him. The kid's got time. That is cool, calm and collected under pressure. You can only do that with absolute sheer talent.
Short kickoff by the Kangaroos, picked up by Drewy Lowe. And the junior Kangas are running out of time. They've been blown off the park in this second half by the junior Kiwis as Isaac Maliota just rumbles his way forward towards halfway. Selawini just taking his time now. A little bit of the stings come out of his run. No, they're in a pretty comfortable position. I wonder if they want to put them to the sword. As Lamatasi, the first try scorer in the second half. Just slows it down a little bit. Selawini for Johnson on 4, comes back inside for Maliota. Maliota, look at the leg drive, still going Maliota. He's been stripped. And it is a one-on-one strip. Look out, here goes Cameron King. Can he stop? He'll be stopped, and the ball's been taken out of his hand by Glenn Fisiahi. It's gone backwards is the call, so it's still alive and back in the hands of the junior Kiwis. You do it, I'll do it. Simple.
Well, side to side, we thought the Kiwis were away. Making a turnover, the Australians strip the ball, comes down the other way. Great chase for Fisiahi, knocks the ball out.
Slow play the ball from Sam Lousy as we head towards the Kiwis versus Papua New Guinea and the Four Nations. This one has certainly set the crowd light, though. It was pretty quiet at half-time when the junior Kangaroos were leading 20-0, but the junior Kiwis have just come alive. Like this young man, Kane Morgan, is he away? He's looking back inside. He puts the boot to ball. It's still alive, is it? And it goes to Gagai. And you look at Kane Morgan, his efforts today, 11 hit-ups for 187 metres. He's done his part in the second half.
Well, it's all been quality too, his involvements. He's always beaten 1 or 2. I'd love to know how many tackle breaks he's made or busts, because he's just popped out around the line, just gets that fend out. Nice stiff fend. He's a good player. He's definitely one to keep an eye on.
Look at the look on the faces. The junior Kiwis will be very, very excited about this. The Kangaroos were very confident in training, and the Kiwis were all business. Williams for Gagai. They've got to stop Gagai. He could produce something out of nothing, so he decides to run the second rowers. And the form there at the moment, bad option.
It is, but he's a player that won't stop trying. Neither will this man.
Ball's come back into the Kiwis' hands. A loose pass, and Carlos Tuamavavi, who just scored the last try and picked a ball up with about 2 fingers from his feet, has snuffed out the Australian attack. Mata Ora finds Maliota. Big Isaac just rumbles through, lies on the opposition defender. Salawini, ball back in for Pakiafu, a little bit of a juggle, bangs off one with the big right shoulder, still going Afu, but this time the ball goes to Dek. That's the 3rd drop he's had all day, but that's the way it goes. They're still alive. Here's Gagai. Gagai looks up, dances into the defensive line, almost as if I think I've had enough.
It's very frustrating for him. He's a player that likes a bit of time and space with the ball. We see Tariq Sims spinning and rolling. But I'm sure Gagai will get his hands on the ball one more time, and the junior Kiwis will hold their breath.
Ben Jones still going, the skipper. Will not give up, will Ben Jones. Finds Cameron King. Norman, long ball for a running Sam Williams, who just takes a hit from Licky, but still says, well, that's the best you've got? Have another go, which he does. 3 in the tag will stop Sam Williams. 35 out and the penalty. They'll want to take this quickly. There's a Kiwi down.
15 round the head.
Just checking the number. It's Sebastian Ikuhihifo who set up that wonderful try to Carlos Tuamavavi. Take the count 8-4, so 50 split in favour of the Kangaroos, but they are trailing by plenty. Short ball. Calls play on. Inching their way towards the try line. They think they've got another one in them. King for Williams. Williams, short ball, nice ball to Mark Nichols, but it's gone to the deck, and it will be Kiwi ball.
Great defence there from the Kiwis. They could have let a try in. It's not going to dictate the winner of this game, but they keep working. You can hear them talking to each other. They're a side definitely playing with pride.
Maliota stopped about 3 up from his own line. Here comes Sam Lousy, scored a try in the Toyota Cup Grand Final. He's had a whale of a year, Sam Lousy. He gets up slowly. They're all playing games inside the last 60. Little play for Nuffy, the kick and chase. We haven't sent it away. Finally, he decides to get one away and gives it to Dane Gagai. Gagai gets it away. This is Michael Oldfield. Oldfield stopped. Clock's ticking down. Have they got one more in them, the junior Kangaroos? Trailing 36-20 after leading 20-0 at half-time. Ball goes through. The chase is good from Nathan Massey. I think he got it.
Tackle teammate. Check on side and grounding.
The siren is gone. We'll wait to see if this try is given, and it will need to be converted. Here it is again. They both look onside. Back foot of Nathan Massey looks okay. And who gets it? Let's take a look. Well, it looks like Josh Jackson, is it? Ooh, don't know. To me, it looks like it's a knock on.
Hard to see. Is there separation? That's what they'll be looking for.
There's separation there. I would suggest there's separation there, but you don't want to deny them a try. It's probably here. You can see the separation there. And there's a Kiwi hand in there as well. So
I'll call it no try. Let the junior Kiwis run away with this one.
I think they've run away with it without the try being given, Owen.
Yep.
No try, game over. After trailing 20-0 at half-time, the junior Kiwis have risen like a phoenix out of the ashes. Boy, they were ashes too. The final score here, 36-20. Still to come, game day in the Kiwis versus Papua New Guinea.